Okay, how is everyone doing today? I thought I would do something quite different today because I'm super excited. I had a friend send me the Margaret, I think is it Margaret Peterson? Because it's spelled Marguerite, so don't know, Margarete Peterson. This beautiful tarot that if you hadn't seen, I talked about in a recent video. I'll leave it upstairs in the cards for you to check out. But I talked about this being probably a deck that would have probably gone onto my to-buy list. So I had a friend reach out and said that they had an extra copy. So I'm super excited as the reason I wanted it was for the abstraction, the abstract nature of the deck. And as I have one other abstract deck, my Quintessential Thoth, I thought we'd do a little cutesy comparison between them. I kept the deck in order because I just received it. And so I just wanted to like go card by card and just, I don't know, see if it's as similar as I would like for the abstract nature of both the decks. So I've put this one in the same order that this one came to me in, and we'll just see what we can see. Aren't these cards beautiful? Like just the full card, like the airy nature of the Fool, and how I like that in the minor arcana of this deck, there are more abstract, less figurey, but then you do get a type of actual picture in the majors. It really makes them pop to me. And I love, every time I've seen walkthroughs and reviews on this deck, I always think that this is like a raised, like a mat in a frame that goes around the picture. It just looks like it's framing the picture very, very well. So it always made me look like it always made me think I was in a museum looking at this in a frame. So the borders to me frame the deck very well. But I'm a border girl. I like borders. I mean, not that this is any indication. So I like that this is mirrored in color, but more so for the background. I like the gradients there. I like that this Magus Magician is considered magic instead. I really appreciate that. I really do appreciate the name changes in this deck as well. I like the brushstroke-y nature of this with the magic, because this makes me feel like this looks, if that makes sense. You see the brushstrokes here as well. I like the emphasis of the face for magic, like maybe it comes on the breath, you know? Like that. Love that we have light and light here. I like that. I think that is there's something to be said about that, where I love this kind of alien world womb like imagery that we're getting here in the Margaret Peterson. And I actually like that normally in the Magician card, we see all four of the suits, the suit symbols represented, but we actually see all four of them in the High Priestess card. Pentacle, there's a chalice, the sword, and the wand. So I kind of like the change up in that we're seeing the four symbols in the High Priestess, but I'm really focused in on the light in both of these. And this path, the path of Dyot here that I've made in the Quintessential Thoth, seems to be reminiscent of the path we can choose with the High Priestess and things like that. So I like that. Really like the void aspect of this. Again, like womb, you know, I see pomegranates. I'm seeing yogic positions. You know, I'm seeing very... like the hills, very earthy, right? But also this deep void too, which is a theme, I guess you would say, within the Thoth for me. And while this looks like your grandmother's wallpaper, which is great, which is fantastic. I love this. The colors remind me to stay earthy and grounded. Love this kind of, the abstract is very cut like this, very like shardy, you know, like that. Ooh, I love the browns and the golds in these too. That's really nice. I really like how if there are figures, they're shrouded, you know, like they're veiled. That reminds me a lot of Thoth energy. And I don't want to say that this deck to me has Thoth inspirations because I'm not sure that it does. Actually, I'm not sure it has any inspiration. It's just its own, it probably is its own thing. But I like seeing it and pairing it, so. Ooh, see, I like the juxtaposition of this pink, right? Like this very good pink with these earthy tones. And there's a reason I've mixed these colors like this in this particular deck, but for the purpose of it mirroring other cards. But I love the earth tones in this and the snake, this like almost Kundalini rising type of an energy. See, the swirl in here really taps me into the swirl of the amethyst holy grail energy that I get from the chariot from the Thoth. Love that there are two what seem to be dogs here, maybe possibly even cats, maybe going into Bastet from Egypt a little bit here. This is kind of what I'm feeling. Love, like I said, I love to put my eye in the swirl, like the very moving swirl area here. We got Justice in 8, just like we do Thoth, which is named Adjustment. Love the blue, that it's mirroring the blue. I think blue is a very calming color, and it's a very peaceful color, which, of course, you want. Justice Cod. Love this. Again, with the light. You know, I like that the light is what the eye is going to. Lots of greens and earthy tones here, much like this. I like this. I like, again, these shrouded almost figures. This kind of looks like a cairn or a rock formation to me. I'm sure that I think there's a figure in here too, but I just like the light. I like, see, this Wheel of Fortune has a twirl aspect like this fractal image here, but it's like a hug, like this is arms. Reminds me of soul cards a little bit too. Love this red swoosh right with the Cup of Abominations liquid in the Lust card. I love when the animals look... I like when the animals in the Strength card remind me of the goddess, like a goddess energy. Kind of like I see Diana or Artemis in this card a lot. Like this very earthy goddess that is like a huntress, you know, but she has a deep reverence for the animal, and the animals can sense that. So I like that. Again, love the shapes that we're getting with both. How we seem to be going down and in to the Hanged Man here. I actually really appreciate that this is called Trial. It really makes you think, because we've already seen Justice, right? But we've seen Justice, the personification, not, and we don't realize that there will be a trial. Like, just because we have seen the personification of Justice doesn't necessarily mean we've gotten to the trial yet. And this trial by fire, trial by self-sacrifice, those things will happen, you know, after, of course, you meet Justice. Oh, I love the watery nature of this. This death card very much speaks to me of like death being over everything, it being inside of everything, and that these two yogic figures here really make me tap into the fact that you can tap into the energies of life, death, and rebirth through these altered states of consciousness. And that will teach you something about how death is in everything. But I like how this watery is mirroring kind of the cosmic energy in this. Ooh, I like this. Mediatrix. It's a very nice word, isn't it? I like the rainbow. There is a rainbow in the OG Thoth for the art card, which is pretty cool. That's a cool cool thing. Again, with the cosmos, sun, and there's a lot of sun versus moon energy in a lot of these cards. Like I see a sun and I see a moon, or possibly a sun and moon phases. So it really goes, I think this deck really taps me into the cosmos and the macrocosm. And then when she puts her figures in, that really taps us into how it's as above, so below. So really appreciate that. I love how this devil looks like a crystal. I love that the emphasis here with the eyes, and then this being the mouth. I think of those old medieval paintings called Mouth of Hell. That's what this reminds me of. Then also having the mouth itself be a crystal makes me realize that the devil is multifaceted. So I like that. Again, I like the color mirroration. Jagged edges. We're caught up in stuff. It's very nice. These stars looks very similar. I love that the shine and the twinkle in each is present. Yeah, I'm gonna like working with these two together. Again, the emphasis in this moon card is the light, so that's, you know, this is something to think about. The light up here, but then also how the cosmos are, you know, is mirroring the path, it's mirroring the water. I do like how the figures in the pillars, I think I appreciate that there's like a shadowy figure here in the water, right? But then there's a free figure here and then a bound figure here. And by walking out of the shadow and into the light of the path, you can choose your fate. Like this. This is like an old beach hotel wallpaper. I like this. Always like abstract-y sun cards because it just really gets you into what you like and what you don't in a sun card. A lot of people have opinions. I really like the term renewal. It does make me think of Eon. It does make me think of, no, not Eon. It makes me think of Aeon. Okay, the Aeon card, as instead of Judgment, because to me it's not so much about the rapturous nature of Judgment, but the renewal aspect and the turning of seasons and cycles and aeons. So like that. Oh yeah, again, I like this swirl. You know, right here we're squaring the circle, but I like this dancing, swirling figure here. I actually like that along the edges of this card look to be bone that are scattered when they dance, this figure. So it makes me think of, you know, collecting the bones, right? So, okay, so now we're getting into the minor arcana. Here's the ace. Love these two. The frames really help to set the mood for the cards, I believe. I think that they did a good job on that. Oh, see, I like that it seems to be two figures here, much like the two pulls of the two wands. I like the folds, the intimate folds of this virtue card seem to mirror the lines of the brushes and of the brush strokes in this. And this weird animal. I don't know. It's interesting. I like the waves here. It's like a beach and waves and the ebb and flow, right? Very good. A passive yellow here with a bright yellow here. That's nice. Now these colors have purposes, but I'm liking that the Margarete Peterson chooses to really stay in the fiery colors for the emphasis on the flame cards. I like that you can't really tell if this is a whole, like a leg and a whole figure, and then this head is coming out of the stomach, which reminds me of, again, other medieval figures and creatures that were drawn with think of the devil in, I think it's the Bacchus Tarot, an old Marseille style where the stomach has a face, and like Patrick Valenza, he does that too. Really like the cheetah. Or is this a jaguar? Not sure. I like the archer in this too. That pulls me into the swiftness of the card, and this rainbow behind makes me think of this rainbow, but the swiftness comes in the arrow swing. I like that. See, these are really nice. Oh, and see, this is an oppressive card, while this looks to be like a figure that's oppressed here in the corner, but they're growing wings, or possibly a phoenix is coming to set them free. Okay, so here we get to the court cards. Oh yeah, see, I like the dance and we don't know where the figure is flowing. That's very much the Princess of Wands for me. The son, this is daughter, son. Yeah, mother and father, I think. Love the colors. Love the colors in both, even though, like I said, in Margarete Peterson, she really seems to stay with the flamey colors, you know? Like this bold mark here with the bold splatters here. Same energy, same vibe. I love that. Very chaotic, but chaotic as flame. Very nice. Ooh, I like this. This is a nice mirroring here. The waves of paint that we made with pouring these acrylics versus this lotus, which is a theme we see in the Thoth as well. There's a lot of, I guess, what I would consider Zen Buddhism imagery in this deck, which I didn't realize. But it's, I mean, it's fine. I just didn't realize it. It's very pink water. We're in the shower here, you know. We're in Persephone's shower. That's what I call this card, Persephone's shower. Ooh, really liking the browns and the greens here. That's a good mirroring. I like this with the Four of Cups. I do like how she frames some of her images, and they all kind of look different and mirror what we're trying to see inside. I like that she changed sort of the Five of Cups to be not of disappointment necessarily, but the ripple effect, and how our decisions will have an effect. There is a cause and effect like that. Again, like droplets with the water spray, same thing. We're putting droplets in to fill the vessel because the vessel's not full yet. And this is the stagnancy card where the debauch is happening. I'm trying to see what's here. Is that a boat? It looks like a boat with sails, like a sailboat almost, with sort of a figure here. Maybe this looks like an old woman figure. Maybe it's not an old, maybe it's just an older person. It's just an old person present. Huh. Makes me think of age. And what is that? What does debauchery make me think of that? Indolence. I like that this seems to be a what lies beneath card. You know, kind of like this. What's lying down here in the shadow. Like that. Very, very good with the purples and the yellows here, but with the pearl and the clam. And we've got this very crystalline image here. I like that. Very vibrant red in the quintessential with these very muted colors of very good waves. I don't know. I like that too. Ooh, now look at that. I like how this looks like one of those old postcards where the postcard is a picture of someone's shadow in the water, right? Like you a postcard that you would buy from the beach and send to someone. I like that. But I like how this also kind of looks like we're that figure and we're looking down the water instead of up. So we're the same figure. This is just our view as this figure. Again, like the cut of the waves here with like this. Oh, see a figure down here. Possibly a Hindu figure. Yeah. I like this. the color, the cut of what looks like old magazine cuts. Not that that's what that is, just looks like it. Along with this Mandelbrot set, focus is on the middle, going out. So is this, focus in, going out. Very nice. I like how this is the Ace of Feathers in the sword suit, and how this looks like a feather in paint, like the way it's swirled. I like that. I like that this is a peacock too. I think that's pretty nice for the ace. Peace. Peace. I really do like that it's abstract but pippy at the same time. It really makes you think, is there something happening? Is there not something happening? If there is something happening and there's not something, what do I feel about that? I like that the circle here reminds me of, peace and completion. Something has come, something is a ball and it's not cut up, you know. Then now we see the feathers cut. The ball's still there. The circle, I don't want to say ball, the circle is still there, but the shards in the sorrow, right? The heartbreak. I like this figure down here resting almost in this compromising position. That's the word I would use for that card. Ooh, see, there's more and more figures stuck in the circles here with the feathers outside of this. You know, the fives are normally about strife. This is defeat, but this person looks to be, I don't know, they look to be stabbing themselves, but I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at. I guess that's the beauty of this deck, is that I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Still with the circle, I like that. But also like how this looks kind of like a web behind the feathers. And there's a preparation here. I don't know. I like the butterfly. I like the butterfly. That looks good. But it also looks like this, that looks like a tooth. So this could be a jaw of some kind. Some kind of animal. And it looks like a claw. That's a claw. Yeah, that's like a hawk claw. Is that a hawk back there? Possibly. Like that's the other side of their claw. And that's a wing maybe. So wings. That makes sense with feathers, right? Ooh, I'm loving the purples here. Like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. Ooh, and more color. I love when the colors match up a little bit. I like the stripes, the very harsh nature of this cruelty card in the quintessential. I'm seeing that in this circle. You know, the lines are really harsh. And this figure seems to be upset inside the circle, right? Ruin. How this kind of reminds me of my Wild Essence Thoth. In the Ruin card, there's a dead tree. Looks to be in the aftermath of burning a forest down, and the stubs of the trees. That's kind of what this reminds me of, actually. Princesses are on point. I love the princesses in this Margarete Peterson. I love the dragon here. I like that. I like that she looks to be conjuring this dragon with her hand up like this and out. Looks to be like there's a spell going on with this. I like that. Very chaotic, which is probably indicative of this mask here. But all of these, like this fog, this film of the white dots that are placed on top of this picture makes me think of the chaos that's in this, for sure. See, I like that this seems to be different. Like the light is in the center of this Queen of Swords, but in this, it's a blackness. It's an eyeball. It's the light that's coming from the windows of the soul. Very interesting. These are light points. Like this seems to be like the Grand Canyon. This deserty place. Ace of Coins. Very nice. Very cave paintings of Lascaux type of an energy here. Very earthy. Like that, the change here is the change we make. The change we put forth, our carbon footprint, right? More carbon footprint, you know, the work that we do is the foot we put forward. I like that. Nice. I'm still loving the circling the square in the fours. That's very reminiscent of the actual Thoth deck, the OG, I guess you could say. Because in this Four of Discs in the Thoth deck, it's a fortress with the emphasis being on the elements, right? Love the masks, the masked faces present here, or just the masks. This is what this just look like masks. Very, very heart focused here, because it kind of looks like I'm in a copy machine and I've put my hands and my feet down. And so to get this pose, I have to bend at the waist and put my hands on the ground. I can do that, but a lot of people can't. So that makes me think of the pose that this makes and the success of finally being able to do it. I like this. The seeds that we're planting here. This looks like a seed growing. What we're doing with that, what we are doing with that. And then this, the Prudence card, is about what's coming out, what we still need to take care of, you know. Very flowery in nature, you know. Ooh, like the circles here. Like the circles here. Oh, I can't tell what the figure's doing, but it looks like they're meditating on this rock, or maybe possibly something's happening with the rock, or the ripples here in the earth are coming out. Something's getting born. Again, I love labyrinths. They're one of my favorite symbols. This looks very crystal in nature. Like the wealth is this crystal. That's what we're obtaining. That's what's in the center of the labyrinth. I like that. Okay, now we got to the court. The last of the court cards. The last of the cards. Again with the jewels. I like the jewels, like that. What we're finding, the bones of earth. You know, right? I like that. The princess here is reminding me of the princess that stands in front of these palm pine trees things. I like the very, very far in the back of these images are sand formations. I like that. Again with the lines. I like the lines, the strokes that they put in the deck. And then again, in the background of the images, there seems to be like a real image of something that she's taken a photo of or whatever. She's utilized it in the bottom of the background of the painting, like as the focus almost, and then just kind of piles on layers like that. Very, very nice earthy queen. I can see some pictures. Here's cut up pictures of trees and fruit. Yeah, I like that. I like how these shapes here, the shapes at the bottom here, mirror this. Like we're kind of looking in. We're kind of looking into the center of the painting where the queen is, and we've kind of changed the colors a little bit. Maybe a little out of focus or in focus or whatever. I like how, like I said, the shape here is mirroring this. Nice. Then we come to the golden Knight of Coins. Love this down here. This seems to be someone on horseback fighting, so that means, you know, victory and valor with the king. This figure here, possibly figures around him, but I can't tell. Lots of animal fur types, I guess you could say. Animal skins and fur types. The shapes of their spots and stripes. See, it's very animalistic. This is the Father of Coins. Again with the swirls. Okay. Well, that was a look, a little, I guess, comparison look to my Quintessential and my very brand new Margarete Peterson. Very, very interesting look at both of these decks. Let me know how you feel about like pairing them together. Like, do y'all see it working? I don't know. Y'all let me know. Can't wait to start working with this though, for real. And ingraining it into my collection. All right. Y'all let me know. Much love.